talking about syllables in words and names. The first week that we did phonics, we learned some interesting facts about the alphabet. We found out that every word must contain a, Jacob?
Vowel.
A vowel, very good. Well, to show you just how important vowels are, not only must every word contain a vowel, but every syllable has to have a vowel sound. A word may have more vowels than it does syllables, but it may not have more vowel sounds than it does syllables. Let's check this and see if it is right. Oh, one more. Right up here. Let's say the word kitten and clap on each syllable. Kitten. Let's try that again. Everybody together. Kitten. Good. How many syllables are there?
2.
2. Let's look at the word and make sure it has at least 2 vowel sounds. How many vowel sounds are there?
2.
2. Very good. What are the vowel sounds in kitten?
I and I.
I and Kitten, kitten, depends how you say it, right?
Yeah.
So does our rule work?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are the same number of vowel sounds as there are syllables. Let's try school. Everybody all together, we're going to clap as we say school. School. How many syllables were there?
1.
How many vowel sounds are there?
2.
How many? There's 2 vowels, but how many vowel sounds?
1.
1. So does our rule work?
Yes.
Yes, we've got 1 vowel sound, 1 syllable. A vowel may have more a word may have more vowels than syllables. This one has 2 vowels, but there's only 1 vowel sound. Let's try a harder one and see if this rule still works. This is the word hippopotamus. Can you clap it with me? Hippopotamus. So how many syllables were there in that word? What do you got? 5? I see some 4s.
5.
Let's see. Hippopotamus. There's 5.
5.
Okay. How many vowel sounds are there? Let's see if we can find them. We got hippopotamus. So there's 5 vowel sounds. Our rule still works. Okay, now we're going to learn about the new thing for today. I want you to echo these words and listen to the sound in the final position. Now, where is final going to be?
The first.
No.
The end.
At the end. Final is going to be at the end. So listen for the sound at the end of these words. Has. Echo the words for me.
Has.
Is.
Is.
His.
His.
What sound do you hear in the final position? Jacob.
His. Oh. It.
In the final position, the very end of all of those words, what sound do you hear, Chloe?
It.
No, the very end. Has, his, is. What sound do you hear at the end? Jacob.
S.
What sound, though? That's the letter. Tell me the sound. No, it doesn't say has, his, is. Has, his, is. What sound is that?
Z.
Z. Okay, let's look at these words and see what letter is making that sound. What letter is making the Z sound in these words?
S.
The S. The letter S is making the Z sound in these words. So S can make 2 different sounds, right? There's S and Z. So let's check and see which one is voiced. Put your hand on your throat. We're going to start with the regular S sound. Do you feel your voice vibrating?
No.
No. Let's try the Z sound. Z. Do you feel that vibrating?
Yes.
Yes. Good. So there's a voiced S and an unvoiced S. When you are reading a word and you're not sure which sound it's going to make, start with the unvoiced, just S. And if that doesn't sound like a word that you know, try the Z sound. There's also a rule that can help you decide which sound that S is going to make. If the letter before the S is voiced, then the S will make the Z sound. So, look at the letter before the S in this word. This is a vowel, and all vowels are voiced. You say ah, you feel it in your throat, and you say ah, ah, so it's voiced. So your S is going to be voiced. Okay? Let's look at some other words and see if this still works. What about, okay? What sound does this letter make right here? So put your hand on your throat and feel Do you feel it vibrating?
Yes.
Okay, so we know that one is voiced. Let's see if this one works out to be voiced too. We could try it as pins or pins. Pins, right? So it's going to be voiced because the letter right before it is voiced. We'll try one more. What about this word? What sound does this letter make? What sound does this letter make? Is it voiced? Is it making your voice move?
Kind of.
Not really, right? So when we say this word, pits, it's not voiced. It wouldn't be pits. Okay? So, let me see if you remember. We've had one other sound that we've had that's been voiced so far this year. How did we code that to show that it was voiced? Dylan?
CK. Underline the CK and cross out the C.
Well, that one wasn't one of the voiced ones. We have a digraph that can make two different sounds. One of them's voiced and one of them's not. Do you remember what it was, Chloe? How did we code it to show that it was going to be voiced?
Put an underline under it and put a cross out it.
We're not going to cross it out, but we're going to put a line through it, right? So on these S's that are voiced, we're going to show that by putting a line through it. We're not going to underline it because it's not a digraph, but we're going to put a line through it. What else do I need to do for that word? What else do I need to do for that word?
Put a breathe
over the A. Okay. What about this word right here? What am I going to do?
Cross out the S.
I'm not going to cross it out. I'm going to put a line through it.
Put a line through it and put a breathe over the I.
Okay.
Put a line through the
Let me see. Dylan, will you come do this one? Can you? Is that low enough? Can you reach it? I think you can, right? Okay. Good. It's voiced. It makes the Z sound, right? Okay. Thank you. Chris, you want to do this one? What are we going to do? Okay, you got to breathe over the I because it's followed by a consonant. Then we got to decide, is this voiced or unvoiced? Good. Because remember, if the letter before it makes a voiced sound, you can feel it. And then we know this one's going to be voiced too. Okay? Jacob, come do this last one for me. Yep. So this is pits. Pits.
His.
Okay, remember, if the letter right before it is not voiced, and that one's not going to be voiced either. So, is that one going to be voiced? No? Okay, so the S is not going to be voiced either. We're just going to leave it alone. Very good. Okay, let's do just a couple more. Chloe, come do this word for me. No, you got a vowel followed by a consonant. Code it with a... Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to go that far. Breathe. Good. Okay, and Miss Riley, come do this word for me. Yours is different. Let me see what we got. This one right here. This is what you're doing. Good. Open accent and vowel. Thank you. All right, we will practice a few more words together before we split up into our groups. And today you're going to be reading a story with Miss Moss called The Cat and the Chef.